Hey guys, it's Silver Griffin here, and I don't normally do these kinds of videos, mostly because I don't usually get things that are quite this interesting coming in the mail. But I was here working at my desk, working on the next project for Silver Griffin Makes a Thing. Was busy working on Roland here, the companion for Talia, who's back there, based off the Heralds of Valdemar series. But then I had a very exciting package arrive. And so this is a box. It's a box from a company called Dreaming Robots, and it is the Electric Eel Wheel 6.0. And now what this is an electronic spinner. Basically, it's a spinning wheel, kind of like that one back there, except it's got an electric motor on it, which is going to be so fun, so fabulous, and I really just want to do a quick little unboxing, so let me get the camera set up and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I am so excited. I have been a spinner since I was about 14 or so, and ever since then I've been using either your classic drop spindle or a spinning wheel like the one I showed you earlier. However, when I was about 19 or so, I took an injury to the ankle. I strained a tendon in my ankle and it never entirely healed properly. And unfortunately, that was the foot that I used to actually treadle the spinning wheel. So basically, since then, I've had this gorgeous spinning wheel and I haven't used it as much as I really wish I would. However, that did not stop me from acquiring more wool to spin. Now, the thing with the drop spindle is it's lovely and portable, but it doesn't process a lot of wool very, very quickly. I tend to use it for making very, very thin yarn, almost thread actually, and it just takes forever to get anywhere, to make any kind of progress. And so I've got all of this wool that's just sitting in my stash waiting to be used that I haven't gotten to. But recently I had the opportunity to purchase this new toy, and I'm really hoping that it's going to be able to let me get some headway on the wool that I have in my stash, mostly so I can use it because it's gorgeous and I loved it, which is why I bought it. All right, so let's get in here. All right, so this is a little bit different from your typical e-spinner. It is actually apparently got a lot of 3D printed parts, which makes it a lot lighter and actually a lot cheaper than your typical e-spinner. This was, after shipping, it was about $300 US, so that's kind of where the price points start. And this actually isn't their smallest model. They make a slightly smaller one. But after consulting with my mother, who knows my wool habits, she recommended that I get the slightly larger one. And since I had the funds for it at the time, I decided my mother knows best, and I got the larger one. All right, so these are some 3D printed bobbins, it looks like. I think these are 3D printed. So, oh, these are nice. Okay, so online, it said it came with 6 bobbins. So it looks like, oh, they just screw them together. Nice, nice. And according to the description on the website, these will hold about 8 ounces of yarn at a time, which will be really, really cool. I am so excited. I've been wanting one of these e-spinners for years now, off and on. Every so often, I would just like go and nose around the internet and kind of just drool over them. And it just took this long for me to have both the funds and the impulse, I guess, to actually pull the trigger and get one. So there we go. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, here's another package of bobbins. So we're just going to put those together real quick. I like that they come in 3 different colors. You can do things like keep track of what you're spinning on each one, or you can be like really picky and go, okay, I'm going to like ply only on one set of colors or something. I don't know. And they're actually really pretty colors too. These sorts of colors are right in my wheelhouse. There's 4. I'm gonna have so many bobbins now. I actually just ordered another pair of slightly smaller 3D printed bobbins, but those haven't gotten in yet. They're gonna have these cute little like mermaid kitties on the front parts here. Really looking forward to getting those in, but I believe the ones I got were going to be a little bit smaller, which is good. And I wanted to get those so I could be plying the very, very fine yarns that I like to spin. And those are mostly done on my drop spindle. So we got a cord. This is going to be the flyer. So basically, whoops, your bobbin's going to fit on the flyer. Don't think it has a particular preference for which way it goes. There we go. And so, well, we'll get it unpacked and I'll put it together and kind of show you how it goes. What is this? Oh, hey, a user manual. User manual is very, very helpful. Ooh, let's not lose those guys. Okay, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh, these are some drive bands. Definitely don't want to lose those. I think you can order more from the website though. Let's see. Ah, yes, what an affordable line of e-spinner. Ah, okay. So this is for helping measure the angle of the twist in your yarn, which gives you an idea of the energy that's bound up into the yarn. And as you can see, there's 2 different directions of twists. There's what we call S-twist, because it kind of looks like little S's going all the way down. And then you have the Z-twist, which is spun in the opposite direction and looks kind of like a little Z. And so when you're spinning, you spin your singles in one direction, and then you ply them in the opposite direction. That basically locks the twists together so they don't come undone. Is something of an electrical nature. Oh, this I believe is going to be the foot pedal. Oh, it's got little eels. It's got the little eel logo. Awesome. So it looks like, yeah, you just step on this and it completes the circuit and it'll power the motor. All right, what else have I got in here? Oh, adapter. So this is, okay, cool. We have all the bits that will make it go. And then, here it is. Okay. So this is the actual spinner. It looks like there's a couple of different, maybe these are speed settings. So this is going to spin it either clockwise or counterclockwise. Get your Z and S twists in. This is for adjusting tension. Cool. And so, don't quite know how it's all going to go together yet, but just based on what I know from spinning with my spinning wheel, this is going to sit in here like this, more or less. Oh, not sure what that is. And then the yarn's going to wind onto here, and it'll come through. It'll actually hook around the loops, or loop around the hooks here, excuse me. And then it'll come through the orifice here, and this is actually what's going to make it twist. So I'm going to take a look at the instructions and set it up, and I'll be back in here just a couple of minutes. Okay guys, I have it set up. I have a lead yarn of this red wool that I had in my stash. I've got some pre-drafted little Rolag bits from a merino that I also just had laying in my stash for longer than I want to admit on camera. So let us see how well this thing works. I've already turned it on once just to make sure that everything was functioning, and I mean this part does spin, so I'm pretty sure I've done it right. So let's go ahead and get some wool on there and take it for a test drive. All right, so to start with, I'm going to move this back just a little bit so you can see a little better. All right, so you always want to start with your lead yarn. Wool works best because wool has a very grippy fiber. Each individual hair has these like little microscopic scales that just like to cling onto all of its neighbors. So it's really, really good for being your lead yarn. All right, I think this is the right twist for this. I did discover while I was playing around with it that you don't actually need to like step on it and hold this like you would like on a sewing machine or a gas pedal of a car. You just need to touch it and turn it on and it just goes. So let's give it a go. Okay. That's right. I'm fighting it just a little bit just to make sure that that doesn't happen. All right. No worries, no worries. This tends to happen if your wool is not gripping your lead yarn properly. So all we need to do is take the orifice hook, which I have over here. And you slide, there's a little hole here. And so you just slide it in, you hook the yarn with the hook, and you draw it on through. Now I am using, this is called, I think this is called the orifice narrower or something like that. And basically it just makes the hole in here smaller, which makes it better for smaller yarns. I do tend to spin very, very fine yarns by default. Call it a side effect of my very expensive taste in wool, because when your final yarn is thinner, you're using obviously less wool. So 4 ounces of your very expensive alpaca and silk blend will go a lot farther in terms of your final yardage. So let's give this another try. All right, so I'm just gonna let this spin together a little bit more. Make sure that takes up. And there we go. That's better. All right, so I have it on like the lowest speed here just while I get the sense of how this thing draws, and it is very insistent. Nope. I need to learn to not do that. I'm used to my spinning wheel where that's what you do. You stop spinning, you stop treadling, and then it the flyer will keep going for another minute. So if you really want to stop right away, then I'm just used to touching the flyer there to make it stop spinning. All right, so I think the other thing I'm doing is I'm not letting it get quite enough twist on it as I'm feeding it through, maybe? We shall see. We shall see. All right, take 3. All right, just come on. Just, yep. No? Okay. What am I doing wrong there? Not sure what I'm doing. Not quite sure what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I need to increase the speed a little bit. I don't know. And again. Okay, if this doesn't work, then I'm going to turn off the camera and do a little experimenting, and then I'll come back. All right, let's try this again. Maybe it needs more overlap. I don't know. Spin, 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 baby. Okay, that's better. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna fiddle around with this and I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so we are back. I think I have more or less sorted out the issue I was having. I was having an issue where the yarn was breaking as it was coming in off of the lead yarn, and I think that was mostly just a tension issue, so I've been playing around with that. I've been playing around with the speed a little bit, and I think I have it pretty well dialed in now. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more on the screen so you can kind of see what my hands are doing here. Let's back this up a bit. All right. So, yep, here we go. All right, there we go. My hands are coming into view. And so the other thing I'm having to learn to adjust to is the draw length. Usually with a traditional treadle spinning wheel, you can kind of play around with the distance between your hands, the distance from between your hands and the flyer, and how much space you've got between your hands, controlling how much you're drawing the fiber out as it's going in to be spun. And I think that's just because I've pretty much only used a single spinning wheel pretty much my entire spinning career at this point, and I've been spinning for going on 20 years now, so I have a little bit of muscle memory to unlearn. But that's okay, because oh my god, I love this thing. It's so quiet. I was not expecting it to be quite that quiet, but I could probably, bring this out into the living room and watch TV with the roommates, no problem. Right, and it's really light. It's like 3 pounds. So I could take it to knit night and chat with people and not bother anybody, which is something I couldn't really do with my spinning wheel because it makes a very rhythmic clunking sound as you're treadling it, and that's partially just the mechanisms and partially it's probably due for a little bit of refurbishment. But oh my goodness, I am loving this so much. I am able to get a fairly fine yarn on here, which is nice. I prefer knitting finer yarns. Or, excuse me, spinning finer yarns. Like I said, it gives you more yardage out of a given amount of wool, which is nice for a spinner who has historically been on quite the budget and has very expensive taste. So yeah, I am absolutely loving this. Just look at it go. Alright everybody, so that is my introduction to the Electric Eel Wheel 6.0 from Dreaming Robots. I am really loving this, and I can't wait to play with it more. Thank you for joining me on this unboxing video. If you'd like that, please, do the usual, click the like button, subscribe. You guys have been on YouTube, you know the drill. And keep an eye out for more videos. I hopefully will be able to tear myself away from this thing long enough to get back to what I was doing when it got here. So keep an eye out for that. This has been Silver Griffin on, I guess, Silver Griffin unboxes a thing today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.